the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. Today is November 9th, 2013. I'm Holly Seiler, leading our news tonight. A shooting on 24th Avenue yesterday has sent one man to the hospital. Fairbanks police say that the unnamed victim was shot around 8:40 p.m. last night in the leg. Officials say because of the location of the gunshot, he is lucky the bullet didn't hit any vital organs. The man refused medical attention at the scene but was taken to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital by his girlfriend. Police say they do have a suspect, and it appears he was acquainted with the victim. The news center is working with the Fairbanks Police Department and will have more updates on this story as they become available. Yesterday, members with the Alaska Innocence Project received a long-awaited response from the state prosecutor's office regarding the case of the 1997 murder of John Hartman. The letter requests an extension for the review of the case until May of 2014. Also in the response, the prosecutor asked there be no hearing for the extension until early December, due in part to a planned absence by the examining prosecutor, Adrian Bachman. The Alaska Innocence Project has recently received public support from Senator Lisa Murkowski, and as recently as yesterday, a letter from Senator Mark Begich. The letter to Governor Sean Parnell asked the governor to ensure a swift response and also noted that the Fairbanks Four have maintained their innocence in the murder.
That's one element I do find surprising, is that considering you've got Lisa Murkowski, when the state announced that they had just begun their investigation, she came out with a pretty pointed letter that said this is serious, address it in a timely fashion. Begich followed. I imagine we'll see others follow. We've had a lot of local leaders follow. So no, I can't imagine that they would be pleased. As a matter of fact, it seems like a direct contradiction with what they recommended.
Since an agreement couldn't be reached, a lot of rural Alaskan communities are going to lose a major source of their news and television programming. On November 8th, a retransmission agreement between Anchorage NBC affiliate KTUU and GCI expired, ending national and local NBC broadcasts in 22 communities. Those communities include Adak, Barrow, Bethel, Cordova, Galena, Kodiak, Kotzebue, Nome, North Slope BP, Skagway, Tanana, Valdez, and Whittier. GCI will continue to broadcast KTUU in Anchorage, Girdwood, Homer, Kenai, Seward, Soldotna, and the Mat-Su Borough under a must-carry agreement. GCI was to replace the KTUU programming in most affected communities with the Star's Kids and Family Network beginning today. While one flu scare was put to rest earlier this week, state officials are urging people to get vaccinated. A young adult patient hospitalized in Anchorage did not die from the flu as previously suspected. However, health officials say influenza remains a serious public health concern and urge Alaskans to get their shots. Officials from the Alaska Department of Health and Social Services say the strain they're seeing the most so far in Alaska this year is H1N1, commonly called swine flu. There was a swine flu pandemic about 4 years ago. There have been 23 confirmed cases reported in the state so far this flu season.
However, the Alaska Division of Public Health Surveillance indicates that the predominant strain of influenza circulating in the community is the 2009 H1N1, which is included in the current influenza vaccine. The virus has continued to circulate since 2009. It has not been the predominant strain, and it's really too early to say if it's going to be the predominant strain for all of the flu season coming up. But we certainly are hearing, at least from the people at the state, that that is the most common type that they're isolating.
After an initial rejection from Governor Sean Parnell, a Medicaid expansion resolution was passed by the Anchorage Chamber of Commerce. The Medicaid expansion would give health care coverage to about 40,000 uninsured Alaskans. Parnell will reconsider asking the legislature for funding for the expansion when he submits his budget next month. Surgery can be a traumatic and frightening experience for any child, so the Fairbanks Surgery Center is trying to make things a little easier on younger patients and their parents. The center recently began utilizing special pre-op and surgery rooms for children, which they say makes the kids more relaxed and happy. Officials for the center found that when children have less anxiety, they require less medication during procedures. Children also get to interact with some of their favorite characters, adding to the goal of making them as comfortable as possible.
When we decided to do this, we thought that it was a really good idea, but it has exceeded all of our expectations. When you see a little one come running back to a pre-op room to see Dora or Murphy the Moose, you have to smile and think, yeah, we've done something right here,
We'll have more on this story during the Monday edition of the Fbx Evening News and News Center Final. And Mike Schultz has been following the winter storm that's been moving towards the interior. And Mike, what is the latest?
Well, it looks like we're going to dodge a bullet, Holly. We were looking at getting blasted last night, but all of a sudden the jet stream has decided to move a little further to the south. And that's pulling all of the energy down to the south of the Fairbanks area. So it looks like we're just going to mainly get a little lighter dosage of the snow, and the freezing rain doesn't look like it's going to be that bad at all. So that's good news.
Glad to hear it.
Now, it can change a little bit, but let's go to the latest radar and show you what's going on across the interior. And as you can see, we're looking again at quite a bit of moisture that is moving in from the west. And there it is right there. You can see a lot of moisture still moving in. So we're going to be getting some snow off and on throughout the night. But like I said, most of the heaviest snow is going to remain south. And it looks like tomorrow we'll be getting snow throughout the day. But the amounts are going to be like 2 to 4 inches instead of the 8 to 4 inches, or 8 to 8 inches to a foot we were talking about earlier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the update, and we'll have more from you later.
I'll do that.
Correct? Okay.
I'll be back.
We'll bring you sights and sounds from around the interior this weekend when we come back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The season of giving is upon us, and it's that time of year that we think about donating to the local food bank. The needs for food donations, however, is a year-round necessity. News Center 11 reporter Tyson Paris-Hansen looks at 2 programs going on at our local Safeway grocery stores.
The food bank is gearing up for Thanksgiving, but after the holidays and during the cold months of winter, they receive fewer donations, which means right now they're trying to stock up.
During those months, we're going to give out 80,000 more pounds each month than we receive in. So the donations that come in now, even if we exceed our goals, for example, we've hit our goal of stuffing, yay! But what that really means is that now any box of stuffing that comes in is going to help during those colder months as well.
Every single grocery store across town is a huge donor to the food bank, so anywhere you shop helps the food bank. But Safeway has 2 unique programs going on: tater tags and food bags to end hunger.
The customers were already coming in from the food bank with the tater tags and presenting them to the cashiers, and we were ringing them up, and the customers were saying, oh, how does this work? And we were explaining to them that it keeps track in the system and that the food bank comes to the store and picks it up once a week, and all the proceeds go right to them. Basically the 10-pound bag. So I ring up 4831.
The local Safeways just received their tater tags, and those who want to donate a bag of potatoes can ask for a tag. It costs $5.50 and sends a 10-pound bag of potatoes to the food bank. They also have the Hunger Bag program, which costs $10.
And this is items that the food bank said that helps families after the holiday season. So once Christmas and Thanksgiving turkeys are over, they still have families coming in looking for food. So if they would like to help us end hunger throughout the holidays, they can come in and donate $10 at the check stand, and the proceeds goes right to the food bank.
For those buying groceries with a little extra cash to spare, tell the cashier if you're interested in participating in either tater tags or the Hunger Bag program. Tyson Paris-Hansen, News Center 11.
And we'd like to remind you that KTBF and Kendall Toyota of Fairbanks are trying to haul hunger away with their 2013 food drive through November 17th. You can bring food donations to our downtown office at 7th Avenue, the newsroom out here on Braddock Street, or take them to Kendall at 1000 Cadillac Court. A former Fairbankson is raising awareness for a cause. This week, Zim Kids is in the interior to talk with students in rural Alaskan villages about village life in Zimbabwe, Africa. Stephanie Woodard spoke with both the founder and director of Zim Kids this week about their trip and files this report.
The organization Zim Kids is built by orphans, run by orphans out of Zimbabwe. This week, the founder of the organization and former Fairbankson, Dennis Gabry, visited the interior to bring awareness to the program. Director of Zim Kids, Tanasha Bassa, visited America for the first time.
The point of his visit is that we want to raise awareness among children and youth in this country about the kids that we work with in Zimbabwe, the orphans that we work with.
I asked Tanasha, what are the similarities?
Most of it, I would say, for now, from where we have traveled, most of the things are still different to me. It's like I'm in a new world.
Another huge difference is seen in the children. According to Tanasha and Dennis, the children are left second to their elders.
We respect elders, so the elders, they come first before children. Like, for example, when we have food, elders eat first, then the kids will follow.
Well, Tanasha is breaking the mold and changing these orphans' lives one by one.
Yes, I'm inspiration because that was my dream. So when I met him, my dream came true.
For Dennis, Fairbanks was his home for years. Now, he splits his time 6 months in Zimbabwe and 6 months in the state, raising awareness for his cause.
So this is my second trip back to Alaska and back to Fairbanks to talk about Zim Kids. So we have a lot of supporters here, people who follow us, and we wanted to come back and say thank you and to give them the opportunity, if they'd like to help us out to continue the program that we're doing.
The pair will spend their time speaking via video conference to villages and comparing the lifestyles of villages in Alaska to those in Africa. But for Tanasha, he is happy that he can take home one very special experience that Alaska could give him.
I'm loving it because this is my first time to be in USA and my first time to see snow. So like yesterday I walked into snow and I was like, oh my God.
Stephanie Woodard, News Center 11.
If you would like more information about Zim Kids and their time here in Alaska, you can visit their website at zimkids.com. Love Incorporated has its 24th annual Create a Gift event today inside Monroe Catholic High School. There were over 30 gifts available for kids and their families to create for the upcoming holidays. Some of the projects included homemade crafts such as scarves, ornaments, beading, doorknob hangers, coloring, and much more. We caught up with Fairbanks resident Gabrielle Martin, who was at Monroe Catholic High today and had this to say about the event.
I've been making scarves, making this.
What is that?
It's a barbecue spices, and we got fresh mints, and we've been making bean soup something, and making ornaments, and a little Jesus thing. I'm gonna give them to my family and my friends in Texas, Florida, Maryland, and grandma in Maryland.
Oh my gosh, that was cute. Joe Cook is in the building and has been a busy guy this weekend. Stick around, sports is up next.
Hello, Interior sports fans. Joe Cook back in the sports seat for you, filling in for Fred Brown this Saturday. This afternoon, the West Valley Wolfpack and Lathrop Malamutes were on the volleyball court vying for the MAC title in a trip to the 4A state championship tournament. And to start this game, Ruthie Hebard, she set the tone against her former team with 3 kills and a block that went for a point. Early on in this game, two teams get set. Sparked an 11-2 run, and West Valley took the first set 25-15. In set 2, Lathrop was down 3-5, but came back strong after a timeout. They tied the game at 9-all, then took a 12-9 lead. Their largest lead of the set was 21-15, and they tied the match a set apiece with a 25-20 win. Tori Holdeshell started the third with a couple of aces, and Samantha Crawford had 4 kills in the set with a quick attack for West Valley. West Valley held off a late Lathrop rally led by DeShante West, who had 8 blocks and 6 kills. Cheyenne Dilbert, the freshman, had 11 kills, and Carly Fitzgerald had 29 digs for Lathrop, but West Valley won the set 25-20 in the third. It was all Wolfpack in the fourth set. They jumped out to an 11-3 lead and just overwhelmed the Lathrop Malamutes for a 25-13 win, sealing the 4-set victory in a trip to the 4A state tournament. It's West Valley's 6th straight conference title and 5th straight regional championship in their program history.
I usually never close the block, so I tried to penetrate the net more. And when I did that, I saw a big difference, even though I still have a lot of work to do on it. I think it helped a lot in this game.
We didn't respond in kind as aggressively as they were responding to us, so I think that was the true measure in the end, was just that aggressive hitting helped them out.
We've been to tournaments and we've shut down attacks of the Anchorage teams with our strong block. And as long as we can continue to do that, just like we did today, yeah, we have a shot.
We're going to go down to a lot of tough teams. We're just going to play our best and just hope we know we can compete with all of them. So we're just going to go and try to keep our play at our top level and just see where we can go.
In high school, in the Aurora Conference Final, the Monroe Rams faced the Hutchinson Hawks for the conference crown. Monroe came through the winners bracket and Hutch won the losers bracket. They had to win twice to make the finals, beating Allison and avenging first round loss to Valdez. Now both teams will go to state. The top 2 in the Aurora will advance for the 3A state tournament. Caroline Everett was getting some kills for Hutch early on, but the Rams took control in the first behind the play of Marissa King and Andy Clark. And King made a split dig kill type of play as the Rams won the first set 25-14, maybe a I-5 nominee there. The final score wasn't reported by airtime, but we'll have that on Monday, or you can catch a story on webcenter11.com tonight. Last night, the Fairbanks Ice Dogs set the tone in this home series against rival Kenai. They did it on the defensive end, and the offense followed suit. 13 minutes into the first period, Taylor Munson put the Ice Dogs up a goal on the rebound off of Victor Lilligren's miss. And just 23 seconds later, Kenai ties it on a Jake Bushy score after a Zach Zulcan's pass, 1-1 game. Then Doogie Legroom put it in net from deep to untie the game. 5:29 mark as 3 goals were scored in a minute 30. Brett Gervais put the Ice Dogs up 3-1 as he popped Zach Quinn's water bottle in the second period. Then Kevin Aldridge and the Ice Dogs defense closed this out. If anything got through that defense, Aldridge was there making 23 saves on 24 shots as the Ice Dogs win 3-1 and gain a 3-0 lead in the Era Cup Series.
You know, we just worked hard as a decor, and our forwards really back-checked really well and covered the guys in front of the net when we left to the corners. So this is a good, solid work by everyone. That's what our game plan was going into tonight, just outwork them in every aspect of the game, work as hard as we can, and, you know, the goals will come, our opportunities will come, and win the game.
Yesterday, the Nanack Rifle team kept their #1 ranking by winning their match over Jacksonville State by a single point. The final was 4-6-7-4 to 4-6-7-3. Small board was the difference as the Nanacks tallied a 23-20 to the game tops 23-19 as both teams went 23-54 in the air rifle. Junior Ryan Anderson had the match high in small board with a 586. And sophomore Tim Sherry led all shooters in air rifle with a 594. Today, they took on number 10 TCU and won by 46 points. Not as close as that first one, 46-92 to 46-46. We'll have more details for that next week. And the Nanack women's basketball team started their 2013-2014 season with a win last night against the Mustangs of Western New Mexico. The Nanacks were ahead 43-35 at halftime, powered by freshman Jordan Wilson's performance, who had a heck of a debut, 27 points and 12 boards, first career double-double in her first career game for the Nanacks. UAF shot a nice 60% for the game while holding the Mustangs to half that. They were also plus 12 in the paint and in second chance points. Tanya Newsom had 19 points to lead the Mustangs. Wilson was the only double-figure scorer for the Nanacks, but they had 6 players score at least 6 points in their 87-72 victory, the first season opening win in 4 years for UAF.
You know, my teammates give me the ball when I'm open, and they had great drives through the middle, which sucked defense to them and left me open in the post. So.
You know, it's a long journey, so this is the first step. I mean, we're proud of that, but we know that we've got work to do. And again, like the freshmen, they've got some big adjustments to make to the college game. So, you know, I think overall we're going to just buckle down and be ready one game at a time.
And that'll do it for sports tonight this Saturday. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. There's more KTVF Sports on YouTube, Twitter, and webcenter11.com. And as for sports, we'll catch you on Monday. Get warm and stay warm, Alaska. Your 4-weather forecast is next.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the news. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather, and we were talking about the big storm, and it looks like I said, most of the energy is moving to the south of us, so we're still not going to get beyond the woods yet. Things can change, so we got to keep an eye to the sky and make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get to your next destination. Numbers look like this: the normal high right around 13 above, the normal low 4 below, record high 49, 1997. What a warm day that was. In contrast, 42 below in 1989. Sunrise and sunset. About 6 hours and 54 minutes of daylight, a loss of 7 minutes from yesterday. And once again, a reminder, winter storm warning in effect till 6 o'clock tomorrow night. The rain and snow is still expected this evening, but not as widespread. Tomorrow, heaviest snow will be from Eielson Air Force Base southward and on down to Delta Junction. Snow will diminish by evening, but not until it's dropped close to 8 or 10 inches of snow down there. Okay, what's going on the satellite picture? Again, you can see all the energy moving really rapidly across the state, being driven by the jet stream. And like I said, there is a lot of activity around the Fairbanks area, but more moving to the south, and that's why they're expecting heavy rain tonight in Anchorage, of all places. How about that? We'll talk about that in a little bit. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, it's not too bad across southeast Alaska, partly cloudy to cloudy skies there, and clear skies around Juneau. Cloudy skies across the Gulf of Alaska. Of course, all the weather going on across the southwest part. Up at Barrow, things are looking pretty good. Clear skies for the most part. In Fort Yukon, 12 degrees and partly cloudy skies. The lower 48 tonight, again, very quiet weather over the western half of the country. In fact, most of the country is looking pretty good. No major storms to talk about. On the satellite and radar, you can see what we're talking about. A little bit of activity moving across the Great Lakes and across the Deep South, and then a new system moving across the Pacific Northwest, bringing some showers over the Seattle area, but nothing really heavy expected. Well, back to our jet stream, because that's the main driving force. As you can see, it's going to bring in a lot of cold air over the eastern half of the country, and it could dive as far south as Atlanta, Georgia by Tuesday night, giving them some possible snow of all things. And again, nice weather over the western half of the country. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what the northern sections look like. Snow showers for Barrow, 1 to 3 inches of snow expected in Nome, and a little light snow at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, as I said before, it looks like heavier snow will be towards Healy and Delta Junction, with lighter amounts in the Fairbanks area. While over southeast Alaska, it looks like sunshine returns to Ketchikan, while mostly cloudy skies will remain in the Juneau area. And over the southwest part of the state, we're looking at rain and snow at Cold Bay, snow showers in Bethel, and rain for Kodiak Island. And if you head on down the Anchorage area, take that umbrella, because they're looking at heavy rain for Anchorage and Valdez, with rain and snow showers in the Homer area. Okay, here's our forecast for the remainder of the night. Again, we're looking at the periods of snow and rain, 1 to 3 inches possible in the higher elevations is where the heavier snow will be. 20 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow, 28 degrees, a little warmer, and cloudy with another possible 1 to 3 inches of snow by the evening hours. In the extended forecast, again looking at some snow possible on Veterans Day, then partly cloudy on Tuesday, and then another storm system moving in for Wednesday and Thursday. That will continue into Friday. And you can see temperatures once again rising way above normal for this time of year. Overnight lows only about 10 degrees, where they should be like 4 degrees below zero. And again, maybe some more snow for the skiers, so they'll be excited about that. But like I said earlier, we dodged a bullet.
Well, you really scared me this morning, so I'm kind of relieved now that we're.
You know, it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to get people get numb to the idea of next time you talk about a big storm that it can't possibly hit, because it could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is November, so we should sort of get used to this kind of weather anyway.
At least it's not 40 below.
Yeah.
Which it can be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always look for the silver lining, folks.
Exactly.
That's going to wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We're really glad you could join us.
Reminder, join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.
Good night.